Hello, guys. It's been a while, hasn't it? I hope everybody is doing good out there. And today I want to touch topics along the lines of what they call Cassandra Syndrome. And Cassandra Syndrome is basically when you have a partner that doesn't treat you like a partner and you start to go within yourself. I don't like to bring my household problems to the table to YouTube, but I'm going to do it just so I can help other people out that need it. Roger and Dakota have Aspergers, and it is ASP as in partridge, ERGERS. And it is actually a form of autism in the frontal lobe of the brain, where the frontal lobe of the brain is a little bit smaller than it should be. And they basically don't understand feelings. They don't really get hints. Like if somebody's angry and they're like, and along those lines, they don't grasp that somebody's angry with them. I mean, you really have to show you're angry with them for them to understand. And it's something they're born with. It's hereditary. And they think only about themselves. It's like they don't understand human emotion. Yes, believe it or not, I know it sounds like Frankenstein, right? They don't understand human emotions, and living with somebody with it is, how would I put it, next to impossible. And you really have to be a strong person to live with somebody that has that, because you have no emotion. And they don't look you in the eye when they're talking to you. They're always looking down. When you call their names, instead of, coming or saying what, it's like, what? What do you want? It's like, great. If they're doing something, you do not distract them from what they are doing, because you're going to get snarled at. There's no touching, no physical touching whatsoever. There's no sex. There's no communication, so there's never a compliment. There's never anything. They don't know how to communicate, and they often refrain from being where there's crowds or where there's parties or where people want them to talk. They're always worried, almost like a schizophrenic, worried about what everybody thinks. They never get involved. Like, say you had a group of 10 people and you guys decided to play a game at a party. They would specifically say, no, no, no. And they'd sit out thinking, oh, this is embarrassing. I'm going to embarrass myself. And they're not realizing that they're looking like a fool from sitting out and saying no rather than, anything else. And what it does is it wreaks havoc on their partners. And, it's not too good at this end of things. So, Cassandra Syndrome, what does it do to you personally, to the person that has to live with somebody that's like that, a partner? At one time, I used to be very happy, very carefree, very upbeat. Kind of like, quote, the life of the party, as a lot of people would say and have said. And now I could still be, I DJ, but it's like we're like night and day. And there's just nothing there. So now when I talk to people, I can talk to them and look them in the face. But like, say a man would come up to me or something, to be able to look at him, I'd be like this. My eyes would go down, or they go here or there. I've noticed this in myself. You become withdrawn to the world for the most part. You stop going to those parties. You almost take on traits of them Not exactly, because I'm one of those people that'll come up and hug you and say, "How are you?" He just sits there. I mean, I don't mean that, but I keep myself in the house. I start pulling back away from people. Um, that goes along with Cassandra Syndrome, not being able to really look somebody in the eye. I just you isolate yourself from the world, and it gets to the point. It's like being with a narcissistic person. You hear nothing but insults because they don't know how to communicate, so that's how they come in the door. What the hell have you done all day? Instead of, "Hi, how are you?" Um, so I'm saying a lot. I just, my trust and faith in the opposite sex isn't there. I tend to think that they're out for one thing. I start thinking, you start looking at people like they're all self centered when they're not. Um, you're just in a world of hurt, and your self esteem just bottoms out. My self esteem has gone down a lot. I had a friend that just said the other night, they said, "Sue, I have to ask you, what happened? You used to be so vibrant, you're so pretty, and you used to wear makeup and this and that. And okay, so I got some on now. What am I putting it on for? A vlog?" Because you kind of lose train of thought with the rest of the world. You don't want to be bothered. You don't want phone calls anymore. You don't want text messages. You just don't want to be bothered. And you start learning to keep yourself occupied. And then you get moody when somebody interrupts, anything that you're doing and things like that. And it's a real sad situation. And I wouldn't wish this on anybody. On top of being sick, I mean, that's keeping me in as it is. I'm starting to get back out again and stuff, but my life is not normal like the average person. That's probably why a lot of these videos are boring. I don't mean for them to be. But Cassandra Syndrome is a real thing, and you may want to Google that. Go online and look it up if you're living with a partner that is narcissistic, that has Aspergers, the whole 9 yards, because their insecurities, they turn around and they put that on you. And you start to believe it over a period of time. Well, I still think that I'm intact, and I always tell him, "Dude, I'm not wrong all the time. The whole world's not wrong. Obviously, while you're pointing your two fingers this way at everybody else, these other three fingers are pointing back at you." So, So you also get physical illness from this. You also get stress related illness from this. You get depression from this. Um, and like I said, you isolate yourself, not even realizing that you're doing it. And I do that because you are so used to keeping yourself afloat and doing everything, because they don't do anything. I hate to word it like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, they do work, but it is something that really probably needs like some psychiatrist. First day with my new tongue, guys. Spit it out. Some sort of psychiatric counseling for this, because this is a bitch. And we try to go on the internet and we try to straighten it out and stuff. And it's not that easy, because you're living it and you think you can make yourself better. I really don't know, I mean, I think the only way for people to make it better is to get out of the situation, and it's gonna take a couple of years of being around somebody that treats you appropriately. Because I think I remember what it's like, but yeah, so you tend to isolate yourself. Computers are probably my best friend, because I can keep isolated and talk when I want, and I am not forced to hold conversations that are long and all this sort of thing. You lose interest in a lot of your hobbies, but yet at the same time, you still have a lot of hobbies because you want to keep yourself going. So that is a little bit about what Cassandra Syndrome is about. And if anybody else is suffering this, you understand where I'm coming from, look on the web, because it is an actual psychological issue that we have to deal with, from being isolated from love, attention, touch. I wake up in the middle of the night and I find myself with my arms up in the air and I'm rubbing my arms. And why do I do that? It's because there's no sense of touch there, and I am alone. I sleep in bed alone. He sleeps on the couch. And there's just like no sense of touch. I dropped my other pair of glasses here. Sorry about that. And the human body needs touch, guys. It's a pure fact, even with newborn babies, If they don't get any kind of affection or attention or love, they die. So Cassandra Syndrome's a bitch. But I just wanted to bring that out and, get that awareness out there. Not so much for myself as for other people that experience it, because it is a real thing. And you really need some counseling for it, and at least some moral support. Go on the web, look up groups, chat groups, whatever. It's on Facebook and all the 9 yards. Anyway, I am going to close this here. I hope everybody is having a great week, and I hope your weekend is even better, and I will catch all of you soon in my next video. And while you're at it, why not go below, give a thumbs up, give a thumbs down, whatever. Like I said, this Cassandra Syndrome, it could happen to men too. If they have an Asperger spouse and she's like that towards them, their esteem could be low. At any rate, as one of my friends would say, do not let anybody dictate your mood. I'll try not to if you promise you won't. All right, thanks for watching, guys.